Welcome to Go Home Heat, a sports entertainment podcast. We are going to talk about the brand split that started out on Friday, which we covered last week. Now we're going into Monday Night Raw. But first, Randy Orton. Standard promo. No new ground covered.
I know. I'm sorry.
The last 2 weeks have been no new ground for him. And I think it's to get Drew to looking better and better as he promos. And Drew is doing good in the promos.
Yeah.
But it's like it's a waste of time. Randy comes out and says something, it's a waste of time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, which is, I guess it's okay.
Well, and how many times have we started the show now in the last month or so with the Randy Orton monologue?
Or Drew, one.
Yeah.
Or right.
Because you know what I love to start my wrestling shows with?
Talking.
Heck Lots of talking.
Set the table.
Yeah.
Set it, baby. Slowly set the table.
Yes.
Crawl.
Not very fast.
Snail pace.
Yes.
Drew interrupts. Drew says, "You should have finished the job last week when you RKO'd me. The last time I kicked you for everyone you ever screwed over. At Hell in a Cell, it's all about me. Vengeance is Drew's, saith the Drew."
Yeah.
He promises to kick the hell out of Randy Orton every time. He's not sending him to purgatory.
Mm-hmm.
He's sending him to hell.
Yeah. Who writes this crap sometimes?
You're locked in there with me. First time I've ever heard that one.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
New stuff.
Then he goes and beats up Randy for a little bit while Randy flees. I have 3 hours to beat you up tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Which somebody might, if they really want to organize, they should probably force him to go home. But we've seen that they're unable to get him home.
Yes.
Okay. Stephanie McMahon draft announcements. Monday Night Raw. The people who are offered tonight are different, obviously. And The Fiend goes first.
To Raw.
Which was, I was a little surprised that Fox gave that up.
Lot surprised.
But good deal.
Good deal.
Yeah, right. SmackDown takes Bayley. Then Raw counters with Randy Orton. Then the Street Profits are taken, and then Charlotte Flair is taken. When you add The Fiend, Randy Orton, and Charlotte Flair, along with the wrestling talent they accumulated last week, Raw's, I'm interested in Raw, and it should be a complete taking Seth and putting him on the other show, and taking The Fiend and putting him on this show changes the dynamic of both shows entirely.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because you're people that don't have to have a belt.
Yeah.
Change, and so you have a plot line that will be, and of course we'll get there. Okay, Aleister Black versus Kevin Owens, no DQ match. Good first segment. WWE is not gimmicking the announcers tables correctly. These guys are hitting that thing and concaving on it.
Here's my thing on this match.
Mm-hmm.
It was a great match.
Yes.
Has Black beaten KO yet?
I don't think so. I think they've either been pulled apart or something weird happened or Kevin wins.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't get that.
But it was really great.
It was a great match, and you know,
dude, Kevin planted his face in a chair.
Yeah, dude.
In that thing, that was rough.
Yeah, there's some nasty spots in that one. But it's just, I'm glad to see. We'll get to that.
The four chairs were set up in the double knees.
Mm-hmm.
The Meteor, I guess is what you call that.
Yeah.
Onto Owens into the chair. That looked like it.
Oof. Oh, it was nasty, wasn't it? I thought he broke his knee on that.
And like you said, this was great.
Mm-hmm.
The match was great. It's just like the result. A little, I don't know if frustrating is the right word, but how can it be a rivalry if there's no give and take?
Yeah.
That kind of thing. Right. Now, Raw takes Braun. SmackDown counters with Daniel Bryan. Raw takes Matt Riddle. SmackDown counters with Kevin Owens. Raw takes Jeff Hardy. Again, Hardy's been the Intercontinental Champ, so he's been a big part of SmackDown here lately.
Mm-hmm.
The big rivalries are that. They move him over. Kevin Owens coming over. Kevin Owens and Seth are gold.
Mm-hmm.
You're looking at Seth, Kevin Owens, and Daniel Bryan on the same
Well, and you've got
company.
Yourself a couple of people that Roman Reigns can face after he faces
Uso.
Uso.
Well, and also, okay, first of all, there's a mark in me that's we're going to get some Ring of Honor matches.
Oh yeah, dude.
You know what I mean?
You got it.
Right. But because Owens and Steen, I mean,
you got
Tyler Black and Steen had some really big time.
Yes.
Kevin Steen was that, and then you also Bryan Danielson had some bangers with both Owens and but also Seth loses his. I assume Seth's going to lose his rivalry to the Mysterios. Seth will lose his rivalry to Owens. Seth will lose his rivalry to Bryan, and all those will set them up to fight Roman.
That's possible.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you give Seth some up and comers to be that allow him to keep his heat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And allow them to be in the main events of Friday night shows and get them some pub while, I think that could work really well on that show. Miz and Morrison are now on this brand, which gives us the true face of the USA Network is no longer Crimes Unit shows. It's Mike Mazarian, which is great. They invite the Hollywood Blondes out. It's not the Hollywood Blondes.
It's not?
No, it's Mandy and Dana Brooke. Miz is petty here. And Mandy points it out because who would have thought when you accepted to go on the Miz's TV show,
he would be petty?
He would be petty.
And
point out that Odie, Sonya Deville would no longer be in Mandy's life. Who would have thought that not long ago?
No.
And the Miz got all that done. Thank you, Miz, for doing that. I was tired of watching them make out. Appreciate that. Good looking out, Miz. She winds up getting mad. Dana Brooke there, whatever. This is all a setup for the Battle Royal, but it turns out to be a setup for Lana and Natty, better known as the Hollywood Blonde. Nope.
Not the Hollywood Blondes?
No. They come out and want to know why two trendsetters such as themselves don't get to be on the show. And this turns into fisticuffs.
Who could have predicted?
Who could have thunk it? And then we get a match. Right?
Did we get a match right there, or did they just fight? They got a match later.
Yeah, they set up the match for later. Right. So then we get a Morrison Mayor of Slamtown segment, and Lars Sullivan, fresh off asking for...
yeah. For pics?
For pics on Instagram.
Yes.
I didn't know if I should go ahead and say it, but we'll say it.
We'll say it.
He asked for booty pics on Instagram. Evidently, everybody...
Shut down!
Everybody got mad at him, which there's a precursor to that. But anyway, Miz runs away, Morrison gets beat up, and Ragdoll... the freak accident is his finisher? Is that what they call that?
Uh-huh.
It looks like it just picks him up and falls on him.
Which, when you're 330 pounds, I guess, if you just threw...
He is... Dude, when they call him the freak, I don't know that I like him as a wrestler, but I'm not a huge, big guy anyway, but he looks like Shrek.
Yeah, he does.
It is
like an ogre.
It's so crazy what he looks crazy. He's like a refrigerator, but all the way up to his head and ears and all. It's unreal.
Yeah, and he moves really good.
Like if you were to do a live action Shrek,
that's it. He don't need a costume. You just paint that dude green.
Yeah, Shrek's creepy anyway.
Yeah, can't trust him.
No, not at all.
He slides up in your DMs.
New Day and the Prophets have a peaceful transfer of power.
Did you like that?
I thought they were going political. Because somebody had said maybe he wouldn't honor the election.
Oh, yeah.
And Vince being a famed liberal.
Yes. Wanted to show what a peaceful transfer of power. That was... I have...
What?
How does that... Doesn't that screw up, like, your like... It shows that they don't really give a crap about keeping things...
Well, I mean, my only thing is... I can't say that I liked it, but the only thing is, if you want to keep two belts, you kind of almost have to do that.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to draft them to different shows, you know what I mean. And I thought the whole purpose of this was they're going to merge the titles.
Yeah.
I guess this is going to be an extremely focused approach to tag team wrestling on both shows now?
I'm sure. How many tag teams do they not just break up? Heavy Machinery, Miz and Morrison are teasing a breakup, and they can't win to save their lives. So they're not. Man, they got nothing, dude. It's just
Tuck's gonna be in a tag team with Graves.
Oh my god.
And
Michael
anyway.
Cole and Corey Graves are gonna go for the tag team championships.
Yeah,
it's the next feud.
So anyway, they literally handed the titles to one another and moved on. I get it, I guess, but I get where you're coming from too. It felt like, shouldn't there be some kind of a match here involved?
Yeah.
But Robert Roode and Dolph wind up getting in the middle of this, and Woods is, what did he say? I'm willing to put my foot betweenst thine cheeks.
Yes.
Dude, Woods is gold, dude.
He is.
And he's been looking great. Thank God he's back and healthy. Okay, Raw drafts Retribution, which might be 20 people.
Yeah.
I don't
know how that
sure.
works.
I'm not 100% sure.
And why would you draft?
And SmackDown, but now, to be fair, SmackDown takes Lars Sullivan. So weighing in could be similar.
Yes.
The 20 people in one and Lars in the other. They may all be the same
I don't know.
weight.
Dio Madden and Dijakovic are...
Play the part of a joke killer, why don't you?
Sorry.
Okay. Speaking of weight, Keith Lee goes next. And then SmackDown keeps King Corbin at home, and then Alexa Bliss is drafted to reunite with The Fiend. So we're good to go here. Seth Rollins' farewell address. He wants to soak it all in. He's taking his talents to Friday Night SmackDown. My final night. You're losing a lot.
Yeah.
Raw, you're losing a champion, a beast slayer. You're losing the greater good and the greatest leader this company, this brand has ever had. Can anyone fill my shoes? And Hardy's music hits, and Jeff, I guess, thinks they wear the same size shoe. Comes out, he says, "You're not a leader, get out of my ring." And this turns into... Okay, first of all, when this segment was going on, just the tone of Jeff's voice and the way he speaks.
Mm-hmm.
And he said that whole thing about, "You're not a leader, I'm a leader," whatever. I got in my mind Spicoli and Mr. Hahn.
Yes. Yes.
Wait, if you're here, I've been thinking about this time thing. Don't waste my time.
Uh-huh.
Because if you're here and I'm here, isn't it our time?
That is Jeff.
Jeff is Spicoli.
Jeff,
okay.
Yes.
But really, like, if Spicoli merged with a cat.
Or if Spicoli got a lifetime Hot Topic, he can get anything from Hot Topic for free. And
his friends joke face painted him every night when he slept.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So Seth
says, don't worry about me. You got a match with
Lars late Friday night. You got a real problem on your hands.
Yeah.
So as he's walking off, AJ comes out and tells Rollins to get to stepping because he never was the face of Monday Night Raw. Anyway.
Dude, I love that when they were just passing each other and AJ's just like...
Yeah, because Seth was all willing to be like, yeah.
Yeah, cool with him. And AJ's like, screw you, dude. Take a hike.
Yeah, and so Seth takes...
comes back around.
He's mad about that, and he follows him back out there. And so then we get to complaining with each other, and it's going to be fight time, and we literally have a dream match.
I don't know how you can argue with that. You got 3 generations of greatness in the ring. You got Jeff, weirdly enough, the elder statesman.
Right.
AJ's that next group.
That next generation, and by far the best of his generation.
Yeah.
And then Seth is in the handful that are the best of his generation, and they're all in the ring together. And it was great. It was great while it was going on. AJ and Hardy go one-on-one early, and then Seth goes off the top rope, and then Seth reminds you. It was cool, too, because a lot of times now Seth winds up I don't mean to say it the wrong way, but he winds up being in scenarios where he's telling stories. Mm-hmm. Right? And this was, for a little quick minute, he was back doing what he was doing when he was the champ.
Tyler Black there.
Yeah, and he was, or exactly. And so he gets a quick little run flurry on offense, and then, of course, AJ flips it, and then it's just So much going
gets
on.
the calf crusher. Jeff hits the swanton.
Mm-hmm.
Then, out of nowhere, Elias with the Jeff Jarrett.
Right, I hadn't even thought of Elias.
Yeah.
He comes through and spanks
Jeff Hardy.
Jeff Hardy to start, which will be a
Because
feud
apparently
there.
he doesn't watch the program and know that Sheamus is the one that hit him with the car.
He said it. He's what was it? He tried to clean that up somehow. I can't remember that. But yeah, yes. Okay, so he winds up costing Jeff the match as AJ lays on top of him, and it was a lot going on, but typical, really, really great wrestling and a weird finish.
Mm-hmm.
And so then we get Raw. Of course, who would have known that they're going to draft Elias first next?
Wow, really?
Yes.
It's like they knew he was there.
Quinky dink.
Weird.
Mm-hmm. The SmackDown takes Sami Zayn. Lacey Evans goes next. Cesaro. They took Lacey Evans over Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura.
It's the stupidest trash ever. They don't put any thought into things.
Dude, Raw in this round, don't get me wrong, like the other rounds nothing jumped off the page. Raw took Elias, Lacey Evans, and Sheamus on purpose, leaving Sami Zayn, Shinsuke, and Cesaro on the board for SmackDown to take.
Oh my god.
Goodness. I guess they never saw Ring of Honor or New Japan.
Those don't exist. You're just saying words now, Kevin.
Yes. Okay, this is a tag match here. We're going to get Alana versus.
Is that what you call this?
This is the battle to see who would become the Hollywood Blondes.
Oh, is it? That's a great. Now I'm interested. Mandy Rose, Dan Brooks versus Natalya and Lana.
Oh, what a match it was! What a match it was!
Dave Meltzer doesn't.
What were we saying about Meltzer?
I said Meltzer doesn't have enough stars for this match, man.
A lot of talent in this ring.
A lot of talent in this ring.
It's all in Natty's body.
Yes.
Okay, so we get a match here, and
it's a storytelling match, though.
It is to some degree, and it sets up what's going on later, because you do have this huge battle royal later to see who's the number one contender. And in many ways, this is that match is set up. I'll get to that. I want to talk about the finish a little bit, in that Mandy Rose hits her knee, tags in the other girl for the swanton.
Mm-hmm.
She hits the swanton, and then Mandy gets on the girl's shoulders and does some kind of jump onto for the pin. And sometimes people just do too much.
Mm-hmm.
I hit you with a knee. She did a swanton. Nice quick finish. It's over. Good deal. Why do we have to stop and me try to get on your knee? First of all, the girl's shoulders she's on, was it Mandy? Was it the girl was on Mandy's shoulders? Which way was it?
I think it was Mandy was on Dana Brooks' shoulders, wasn't it?
Either way, neither one of them's taller than the ring rope.
Yeah.
So standing on top of the turnbuckle
is more effective.
You can jump from there.
Yes.
So there's absolutely no purpose in me going and standing on you, which is the same size as the other thing.
Mm-hmm.
Makes no sense.
No.
It literally, it was two people trying to figure, like, if one of them was the Big Show, okay,
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah, that works.
That's 7 feet in the air.
Or if you're Team Hell No. If you're standing on Kane's shoulders and you're DB and you come off the top, that's...
Absolutely.
You can make that look cool.
But we don't have to do too much. Now, after it's over, Natty, the way the momentum was swung is that Lana, who's so proud of her social media stuff, says something about, I'm the queen of TikTok or whatever, turns and slaps one of the other girls on the other team in the face. Just a dumb way to get distracted, and she does it to herself, and Natty's like, Lana, I can't do this anymore. That was just stupid. And she's right. And so she storms off, and Lana's left, whatever. Nia Jax and Baszler come out.
Yes.
And Nia puts Lana through a table again, which is 4 straight weeks or something, where Lana's been put through a table, and she's really never in a match with Nia. And still winds up through a table. But And so everybody's like, and it's funny because right now social media is a buzz, and I cannot believe how they're burying Lana by continuing to put her. What are they trying to do to Miro right here by continuing to put her through tables? Miro's, of course, the guy who left to go to Rusev, who left to go to
You know what they're actually, and you see it already, what they're actually pulling off here.
Mm-hmm.
They're making Lana a sympathetic character.
Correct. Interesting, though, too, off-screen when you talk about her presence online, she's been posting videos of her working out.
Mm-hmm.
And in these videos, now I'm sure she picks the ones she wants to put out, but in these videos, she's in there with Natty, she's in there with a trainer, she's in there with another, I can't remember exactly, but another wrestler that's really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
And she looks good in these segments. And I wondered if she wasn't putting those out to kind of say, I'm not as bad as some of these matches make me look.
Because I'm telling a story here.
Well, and am I great? No, but the person I'm in there with a lot of times ain't great either.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? If I was wrestling
Natty, I'd look good.
Great, right.
Yeah.
I wonder if she didn't say that because that's not part of why she was doing
well, and I think that's probably a big part of it. And two, it kind of sets up with what happens later.
It does.
Maybe we're going to get more of a match out of this at the pay-per-view than we really think. And that, when you get expectations really low, you can make people pop by just showing up. You don't have to be great. If you look competent, people are going to be like, man, that was amazing.
You know my dancing bear theory.
Exactly. It's not,
it's not how well the bear dances.
Yeah.
It's that the bear dances at all. Right.
Yeah.
And it works. It works every time.
But yeah, everybody hated Lana.
Right.
And now because she takes these losses, she gets put through the table, everybody kind of craps on her all the time. You start to think it's because her husband is getting...
Right, and even if she's a heel, this is one of the few times where the WWE is kind of behind the scenes giving you an olive branch.
Uh-huh.
By putting her through a table 4 times.
Yes.
Her Business are mad because the Retribution ain't there to catch the hurting.
Which is brilliant, right? Because, Retribution, aren't they a anarchist, tear down the system kind of a faction? Wouldn't it be kind of important for them to kind of show up and disrupt this whole thing?
But it's a draft. They don't want to mess the draft up.
Yeah, exactly. I see what you mean there. No, I don't.
Ricochet rolls up and says, look, I might be by myself here pretty soon, so I want one more match against any of you. If I win, we squash this and move on. You win, I join the Hurt Business. And this was great from Ricochet because I haven't heard him sound this good in promo scenario in quite some time.
Yeah.
He did this really well. It sounded genuine. His voice didn't really crack, but I think that might have had to do with the fact that it was almost him pleading. So his tone kind of matched what he was saying anyway. And so then, of course, we're going to get this match, and we're going to get Pretty Ricky and Cedric later in the evening. So that's good. Angel Garza versus Andrade is next, and Zelina's on commentary, and this is her fulfilling her managerial contract, being out there for the last time with these two people. They're good. This is a good match, but they're just not given enough time.
No, it's way too short, but Garza catches him in the wing clipper, Yeah.
Meanwhile, this whole match is a setup.
Yeah.
Because we can hear Zelina talking about, and it's a setup for something I enjoy, by the way. I'm not complaining about that.
Yeah.
But there were enough things that happened in here that we could have done. Like, we could have given the tag match the amount of time we gave this, and given this the amount of time we gave the tag match.
And I would have been happy.
And the interview segment before that with Dana and we would have had a great match and then got the payoff, right?
Yeah. But you're right about Selena on commentary calling out
Alexa. She called Alexa Bliss Alexa Quinn, as in Harley Quinn. And she even threw in, I think Alexa Quinn is a joker. Which was so clever, right? Because Harley Quinn, you get that? Harley Quinn, joker, right? Oh yeah, she's good. Wordplay there. And then when Garza winds up getting the pin on Andrade. Zelina goes out to tell off Garza, right? That's right?
Well, she kind of got in there and just,
And her and Andrade are kind of talking, I think.
Yeah.
It didn't seem like they were fighting, but they have had issues recently. Quinn's lights go out. Everything is weird.
Yeah. You know who's the Fiend's here. But when the lights come up and it's the red lights.
It's Alexa. And she's doing the spider thing upside down.
And it looked badass, dude.
Yes. And then when Andrade turns, the Fiend's in the other corner doing the same thing.
No, he's just standing behind him. When
you're right.
Andrade turns around, he walks right into the Sister Abigail setup.
And they have dueling Sister Abigail setups.
Yeah.
With the red light. And they put them both away. And I thought that part was perfect.
Timing.
I thought that part was perfect, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then they walk to the top of the rail. And it's just, this whole segment's...
I loved it.
Picture perfect. He can do no wrong.
I'm excited.
Yeah, gotta be.
Already.
Gotta be. And it's draft time. Raw takes Nikki, R-Truth, the 42-time champ, and Dabba-Kato, while SmackDown counters with Ziggler and Rude and Apollo. But we still have a Ziggler-Rude match. Rude Ziggler versus Kofi and Woods. We start out with Dolph and Woods doing amateur wrestling, which was cool to start out with. Man, when I'm watching this, I just kept thinking how great Robert Roode is at wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Everything looks... I probably said this before. He reminds me so much of Hunter.
Yeah.
The physicality, the way everything looks real, the way he sells for everybody else. Also, the way everything kind of looks safe.
Yeah.
He just... a really great, sturdy wrestler. And Zig is the same thing.
Oh, dude.
But probably better.
Yeah.
And then Kofi and Woods are amazing. So this was great.
You had 4 super talented individuals in the ring.
And then, of course, the Kofi and Woods go over here. Dude, Woods hit a bottom rope DDT. Did you see that one?
Mm-hmm.
The springboard bottom rope kind of DDT thing was so good.
Yes. He's
got a great moveset. I'd like to see him get a singles run sometime, but don't say that out loud because people think you're going to break him up again and they get mad at you.
Oh, yeah, they'll get...
Because we've already splintered it. What if they put him in 3s?
No!
Yeah, right. Then we wind up with Cedric versus Ricochet. Ricochet works aggressively early. These guys are crazy too, man. Again, really good wrestling. And then we get the payoff at the end with the Eddie Guerrero spot. As things get crazy, the referee's distracted.
Well, Alexander hits his finisher.
Yeah.
And accidentally hits the ref.
Right.
And then...
So Ricochet should be losing.
Yes.
Referee's injured. MVP goes for the chair. Slides it into the ring. Ricochet gets the chair. He sees what's going on. He sees the referee is going to come too soon and turn around. He throws the chair to Cedric. Falls.
I lie. I cheat.
He hit it on the ground first, right?
Yeah.
He actually hit it on the ground first and then threw it to him. And it was like a scene out of the Fresh Prince is what they kept showing online where they lined him up side by side where he put his hand on his head, like his wrist to his forehead and he fell over backwards. It was perfectly done. It was an Eddie Guerrero spot. Everybody had to love it.
Oh, you can't not.
And he gets the win, and so he's done with him. He gets to walk off giggling. Done with him altogether. Perfect. Raw takes Titus over Aleister Black.
This is the dumbest thing I've ever seen, dude.
Woo! And then SmackDown takes Carmella, and Peyton Raw counters with Peyton Royce. And Akira Tozawa is drafted last in this round. So Akira Tozawa went over Carmella, and Titus went over Aleister Black.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
It's interesting. 20-woman battle royal. Winner takes Asuka. Asuka's on commentary for a little while. Billie Kay does a comedy spot. And here, Nia and Shayna wind up getting double, triple team. Nia protects Shayna once. Shayna counters by flipping Nia out of the ring, which is probably the most important spot in it until we get down to the Lacey. Well, what's important too is that Lana gets beaten and rolled out of the ring and
is not officially
out of the match. later, we have Natalia and Lacey Evans on the ring apron, and they do a great back and forth on the ring apron. Lacey does trying to do a Conrada to flip her onto the floor before she lands up, to flip Natty onto the floor before she lands on the floor, which I was thinking, that's ballsy. And Natty manages to catch her and hold her. And Lacey is the same size as Natty, but taller. And that's got to be the strength it took Natty to hold that girl like that. That's crazy. Whoever said, yeah, you can just do that and I'll catch you, or I'll do this and you can catch me. That's crazy. That's rough. And she did it. It was spectacular. She just threw her on the ground. She's the winner. No, lo and behold, Lana knocks her off the apron. And the girl who we thought was buried forever is now going to challenge Asuka. And throughout this thing, Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre were fighting backstage. Why? Why did we do that?
Because
why did we cut away? Why did we cut away during a battle royal to a fist fight backstage? And then cut. Why? Why not? If they were going to do that, why not end it 2 minutes early, and then have them fighting? And then have them fighting.
Go off the air with that. I don't care, but
you went off the air with it anyway.
It's disrespectful.
Yeah, you got 20 women in the ring fighting.
Yeah.
Why? It doesn't make any sense. And it's not like you. Well, sometimes you can make an excuse like, "Oh, this makes a whole bunch of sense because we don't have much time."
Yeah.
At 3 hours, dude.
3 hours, dude.
You could have figured it out. This was literally 2 40-second segments of fights. You couldn't figure out a way to get that in. I did think that Devon Dudley was probably a little overwhelmed by the brutality of all this when he was backstage. But other than that, I did enjoy the show, though.
Oh, it was okay. There were some good moments.
Yes. Bianca Belair looked good in the thing, too.
Bianca Belair is a superstar.
That's important because they're going to wind up pumping Belair up in the episode of SmackDown that we're going to start talking about right now. SmackDown begins. Corey Graves, Michael Cole, and Are You Ready for a Good Time by AC/DC. There's a petition to get AC/DC at the Super Bowl. And if the Super Bowl is played in a similar setting to the arena that they're doing games in now, there'll be the least amount of people that have seen AC/DC at a concert in 40 years.
Yes. Yes, it will be.
Okay. Triple H, Stephanie in the ring. The entire roster is on the stage. Seth is in a suit. No socks. No shirt. No man bun. I thought that was important to point out there.
The man is a savage.
Okay. Hunter says, dude, Hunter is so tongue-in-cheek a jerk still.
Yes.
When he says super freak, super freak, super freaky, singing that, and she says Rick James is here, and he says no, Lars. He knows how bad everybody is about Lars. And he is going to underline it.
Yes.
Because that's who Hunter is. And Hunter might not even be okay with Lars. I don't particularly think that Hunter likes Lars Sullivan. I can almost see him needling Vince about it. Without Vince being smart enough to know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? The only person who may have really got that joke, besides people who just watched his career trajectory, Sean, somewhere, was giggling.
Yeah.
And his wife's going, I don't understand. Why is that funny? And Sean's like, oh, it's funny.
Yeah.
It's funny. Okay. So then he says, KO. He says, we have Kevin Owens, Aleister Black. He names everybody important that's there except Seth Rollins.
Yes.
And you can see Seth steaming that he's not getting his just desserts here, his due. Street Profits are announced, and Dolph and Rude attack. Everybody's fighting. It is mayhem. I did not see Seth engage in a fight with anyone.
Pandemonium, if you will.
Yes, everybody but him. Lars the Freak comes out. And Lars lays waste to all in his way, all except Sami Zayn, who
smart enough to get out of the ring.
Chose to fight another day.
Because he's the smartest champion in the business.
He is. He is. I mean, I don't know what his IQ is, but he seems clever.
Yeah.
Right. And so Jeff Hardy, who attacks Lars, does wind up having to have a match with him. Jeff Jarrett is in the Thunderdome and will be involved in the company in 2 weeks.
What?
They said that. They said, I don't know what they were. They said something about he'll be here in 2 weeks. I don't know what that meant.
Is he returning Kurt Angle's wife?
I think he's probably got all the stroke around there. And he's gonna
oh
be
no! Watch out, Slapnuts.
Dude, I will say this: as much as people kill Jeff Jarrett,
and I do,
when he called Gene Okerlund Slapnuts for the first time, I spit up whatever I was drinking. I had never heard. I still don't know what that means.
I don't either, but it's funny.
It is the funniest thing I've ever heard. And if they start selling those shirts, I don't think I'll buy one, but I might buy one just to wear it around the house.
Yes.
Because I don't want to wear it in public because I'm afraid somebody would ask me what it means, and I don't know.
And there's no good answer to that.
No.
There was a bunch of people.
And then he just started walking around calling people Slappy.
Uh-huh.
And unless you watch the show, you didn't know, but you're in on the joke, right?
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
If you notice too, there's a bunch of people in the Thunderdome, like different throughout the night.
Mm-hmm.
Goldberg.
Oh yes,
Keith Lee,
Goldberg,
Mark
Flair.
Henry, Flair.
Yes.
What's his name from Fox Football? Rob Stone.
They also had a ton of We're Legitimate Sport segments where they talked to the football guys.
Yes.
From Fox and got their predictions on the match of the night: Braun Strowman, Roman Reigns.
I really needed the blonde bombers.
Terry Bradshaw took the country guy.
Yeah.
Who would have thunk?
Who would have thunk it?
Right.
Terry Bradshaw could have been a great wrestler back in the day. I could see Terry Bradshaw would have been a champion.
Dude, you know who would have been a great wrestler back in the day and you don't think about it like that? Howie Long.
Howie Long, yeah, he had the look.
He's not a great, Howie Long went to Villanova.
Yeah.
But if you're too young to remember Howie Long as a football player, he was an undersized nose guard, not much bigger than linebackers, and he dominated pro football.
Yeah.
Dominated it.
Made some dudes look silly.
Oh my God, he was a good football player. Jesus, perfect football player. Just amazing. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, Hardy versus Sullivan winds up being good, but they are hyping Sullivan. He no-sells Jeff's offense until he kind of sort of sells Jeff's offense to fall down a couple of times.
Yes.
Then he gets up and slams Jeff 1, 2, 3, and Jeff's off to Raw, and Sullivan is...
In 2 weeks, man, they have pushed him hard as they can.
Bro. And the internet was it's just pissed when he walked out the door the first day, and they are just like, yeah, you don't like that? Well, how about more of it? How about this? How about we take one of our biggest baby faces that we spent the last year putting over as a great guy that's been going through all these troubles and have him just get bludgeoned by this dude?
Yeah.
After he done beat up our whole new roster, and then beat up our roster on Monday night, too.
Yeah.
Woo! I don't know. I mean, I hear you. They're all in, though.
Vince likes big guys.
He does. And that dude is he's massive. Okay. His ears are big. Okay. New Day is here. And this is a segment of a farewell segment for them, but they break away, come back, commercial, and we get the Bianca Belair with her own song, a commercial basically for her.
Hype video. And it was good. I enjoyed it.
It showed her running track. It showed her climbing rope. It showed the fact that she is
doing weightlifting.
There may not be a better athlete on the roster.
I don't think.
Male or female.
Dude.
There may not.
Did you see her running the hurdles? Her form is
she's a hurdle
amazing.
Runner. Right. You can tell a hurdle runner. I remember when my dad ran track in high school. I remember when he explained to me how hurdles worked. Mm-hmm. And he was like, a good hurdle runner, their head doesn't go up. It's 1, 2, 3 step, 1, 2, 3 step, 1, 2, 3 step, or 1, 2 step. You know what I mean? And you look and you realize, oh wow, somebody that runs hurdles,
yeah,
their head doesn't move when they go over a hurdle.
No,
and that's crazy. You know what I mean? And it's just, okay. Anyway,
and you do it like you're saying, you do it all on a count. You're not. They don't look at the hurdle. You're not.
No. You can be really good at hurdles. I mean, it'll slow you down if you hit it, but if you knock a couple of them down and you're the level of those guys, it doesn't because it's one, two, like you said, they're not looking at the hurdle. Let's count, and it's so amazing. Hurdle track is amazing.
Yes.
And one thing about the modern, like I guess because there's different stuff to do all the time now, so there's not a wild world of sports where you just have to sit down and watch whatever ABC's showing.
Yeah.
So track and field doesn't have unless it's the Olympics, nobody cares.
Yeah.
Right? Like when I was growing up, you had a Ronaldo, Nehemiah, Edwin Moses. These were household names.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And nowadays, nobody knows who the greatest hurdler in the world. I don't know who the greatest hurdler is.
I don't either.
The New Day. Only one thing is more powerful than our positivity. The WWE Draft. Damn you, Raw. So many memories. Tag titles. Kofi's title. Woods crying like a baby. They point out Woods cried when Kofi won the title. Woods' voice is cracking and he is about to cry now. This was heartfelt, genuine. I enjoyed it. And then we're going to wind up getting a match. I did like that Woods said it was Woods' idea, but I think Woods literally came up with like different concepts all the time. And like I remember he had something he wanted Corey Graves to be in with him, right?
Yeah.
And if you remember, Woods was Austin Creed.
Yes.
In Impact Wrestling. He bounced around, never really could, for whatever reason, get over. Kid's got a doctorate.
Yeah.
He's brilliant. Every physical gift a human could have besides height. And yet, for whatever reason, it's never worked. He goes to Big E. He's got this concept. And Big E's like, yeah, let's try it. Because Big E's...
he was kind of directionless at that point right then. He had been the bodyguard.
He had been Dolph's bodyguard, and then he was...
AJ
Lee's bodyguard. And then they went and got Kofi. And Kofi was actually... He told us...
That's sitting on the crate story, man. That's
thinking about quitting.
Yeah.
And then here we are, one of the great factions in the history of pro wrestling.
Yes, bar none, except no substitutes. They're up there.
Right there with the Horsemen.
Yeah. Evolution,
There may not be a better story in the history of wrestling than Kofi's world title.
That's one of the best.
It's supposed to be Mustafa Ali's.
Yes.
He's hurt. Kofi gets in that spot. They try to stop him. They utilize the faction to protect him and keep him in these scenarios where he gets to fight one-on-one as the company itself is throwing things at him to keep him out of the main event.
Yeah.
And it's the Daniel Bryan story, except with a guy that's 15 years into his career. Finally gets to go over. And so this is a great. And then he
lost to Brock Lesnar in like 8 seconds.
Right, and they actually almost... Dude, I thought they were going to give us a callback on that during this match. In a way. We do get a match. New Day winds up... all three of them, 6-man tag, versus you get Cesaro. I thought Shinsuke gave a cool little program. A cool little promo right there, which he doesn't do a whole lot of. It was Shinsuke...
Cesaro and Sheamus.
Yeah. And they come out, and we get all the highlights.
Well, and that was the perfect team for them to face breaking up, because you had Cesaro, who's been a constant. Him and Sheamus. The Bar was one of those teams. That's the team that really they feuded with the best, I think, just about when they were. And then the Shinsuke's in there too as the modern incarnation. I thought it was, if you're gonna have them face somebody, that was a good team to do it with.
To your point, he says.
Sheamus says in the match,
New Day'd be nothing without the Bar. Without me and Cesaro, he says, but he's pointing out the Bar. Now, you also have where they do get Kofi in a scenario where I'm trying to think exactly how it went down. He gets the kick by Shinsuke, and then they go to the spinning knee to him, and then he gets hit with the white noise, and I'm thinking, and I was thinking of the Lesnar moment.
Yeah.
Oh my God, is Kofi going to go down right here, beaten and bloodied like he did with Lesnar right there? But of course that was quicker. But but then of course he pulls out of it, and we get the classic New Day finish and the win. And they're off. This is off to the Hall of Fame, and supposedly they're going to make Big E be a big meanie now, and. Not a big meanie, just a different style of babyface.
Yes.
They want him. In theory, they put them on a different show for Big E to be more serious.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's capable.
I don't know either, but it'd be almost fantasy book here. Have him have a mentor to teach him how to be a more intimidating single star, a guy who was also a tag team wrestler at a time, Ron Simmons. Have him come back and work with Biggie. I think that would be amazing.
Dude, that would be amazing. And or Mark Henry.
Either one.
Because Mark Henry had that Hall of Pain
Yeah, I love that run.
persona. You know what I mean? Whereas with Simmons with the Acolytes thing or with the Nation of Domination, I don't know where either of those characters. So he'd have to kind of be a new character. You know what I mean?
Well, he can also, that
it could just be him.
Ron Simmons, man.
Right.
That's intimidating.
Right. The reason why, and he could say, the reason why they let me be the reason why I was allowed to be the first African American world champ was because, in theory, Sting was supposed to wrestle that match. Something happened, he wasn't there, whatever. And the booker was like, we're gonna put you in a match with Vader tonight, and you're gonna go over. And he could say, if they didn't think I was serious, they don't do that out of the blue.
Mm-mm.
And the booker was the same guy that had Junkyard Dog in New Orleans all those years.
Yeah.
So, Cowboy Bill Watts.
Didn't we see him in that house show? Who's that house show?
No, that was Robert Fuller.
Oh, it's Robert Fuller. My bad.
Right. But anyway, or Ron Fuller.
Yeah.
Ron Fuller? The one who was the taller one.
Yes.
Anyway, the one who was the part owner of the local wrestling with Bob Armstrong right here. Okay. Bailey and Sasha.
Wait, just back to that Ron Simmons Vader thing.
Mm-hmm.
They also did it with one guy that, Vader, everybody knows how Vader was. Vader wasn't going to have nothing to say about that with Ron Simmons walking out there doing it.
They did it with a guy that Vader could not do it for.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And somebody he respected.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because Vader was an old football player too.
Mm-hmm.
And he knew Ron was legit. Got to put my Junkyard Dog book up. Okay. Now we get a contract signing later in the evening, and we try to have an interview with Otis, which is interrupted by Sammy because Otis is not used to talking. So Sammy does the talking for him, in which he says Otis has lost Tucker and Mandy and probably will lose his lawsuit and his Money in the Bank title, which I don't see anything wrong with what he said. I think it's all true. And then, of course, Otis gets mad over the truth and punches Sammy, which is not fair.
No.
It's not fair at all.
Words are not violence, Kevin.
No, violence is violence.
Violence is
and
violence.
Otis committed violence.
Yes.
Sammy committed words.
Yes.
Okay. Daniel Bryan is back. Yes. And he has Birdie and Bree in the dome.
Uh-huh.
Which is kind of cool. They're watching as he gives the typical babyface promo. He's in all babyface mode, pumping up all of the new talent except for whom?
Seth Rollins.
And then we get, the heavens open up.
My girl said that Daniel Bryan looks like a singer-songwriter more than a wrestler.
He absolutely looks like the coffee shop.
Yeah.
You know
I was like, that's pretty spot on. She'd never seen him before.
He's in a band called the Coffee Shop Experience.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Seth can't take this lack of attention, so he has to cut in, and that's what that was. That's his music. And he goes out. Goodness. He winds up saying that he's the savior of SmackDown, the Redeemer, Rollins the Redeemer, whatever you want to call it. Which side of history does he kindly enough invites Daniel Bryan to join him in his mission to make wrestling, to reshape wrestling for future generations, reshaping the industry. Daniel Bryan says, your vision seems dumb.
I love that.
And
it's just dumb.
Seth says, you don't mean it? He says, yes, I do. And they go back and forth. Pretty funny, actually, after a while.
No, you don't. Yes, I do.
Yeah. So Seth punches him, of course, and Daniel Bryan flips the script. Seth tries to retreat, and Mysterio and Dom come out. And if you thought we were done with this,
you were
sadly mistaken.
Very sad.
They back him down, and Seth.
This is hilarious. Seth jumps in the ring,
And it's like, okay, are you ready? 2-on-2, let's go.
Why would Daniel Bryan?
Exactly what Daniel's thinking. No. Why would I do that? And so then Buddy comes out, and Seth gets...
And Buddy jumps over there with him kind of for a second.
They just got in a fight.
Yeah.
And Buddy, he's like, okay, well, good. It looks like...
Seth is very trusting. He's very naive.
I think he was just grasping at straws.
Yeah. But
I think also Buddy had gotten into it with the Mysterios anyway post their match. So there could have been a possibility here where, and so then Buddy jumps Seth and beats him up a little bit. Interesting, post that after Seth retreats again, we wind up with Buddy trying to extend the olive branch here, and the Mysterios are not having it. I guess nobody's allowed to talk to Mysterio's family when he brings them to work and has them sit backstage.
Yes. And you know what I really got out of this segment?
What's that?
Dom needs to hit the gym, dude. His long arms,
Yeah, he's thin.
He's thin. He needs to...
He's pretty young, isn't he?
Yeah. But when Murphy comes out...
Murphy, yeah.
Dude, Murphy, he is more strut.
Murphy is a freak.
Dude.
Yeah, he's big, strong. Not tall, but he's a big, strong guy.
I'm so excited.
Yeah. Well, he's going to I figure he's going to wind up getting into it with Seth soon. As quick as Seth loses to whatever, he'll be the reason Seth loses to Dom and them. And then Seth and Murphy will have a program. And then we probably get Daniel Bryan. So I'm pretty excited about the whole trip there, right? Okay, Street Profits versus Rude and Ziggler with Flair in the Dome because Flair makes the Street Profits outfits out of Skittles.
Yes, and he dresses Dawkins up like Naomi.
Why wouldn't he? Okay, gets brutal right away. Again, I love Rude and Ziggler. I love them. And the Street Profits show a little different side of themselves because they wind up... all four guys in the ring throwing haymakers. It goes longer than the count. The ref calls for the bell. And Rude and Zig get the upper hand after they throw forward out of the ring. They think they've got it won. Think they've won the day, not the match, because the match is thrown out.
They hit their finisher on Dawkins.
And Ford drops out of the ceiling.
Dude.
He's so good at jumping.
Nobody has the height that he does when he jumps.
It's great. His wife's probably a better athlete than him.
Yes.
She can't jump like him.
No, not many humans can.
I mean, he was probably... There's no telling how high up in the air he was. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When he elevated from whatever that is, 6 feet or whatever it is, to turnbuckle 5.5, whatever that is, he was probably 20 feet in the air.
Yeah.
By the time he started coming down.
Ooh.
It was crazy. Okay, Sasha rolls out looking like a movie star Power Ranger mix.
Yes.
And...
the outfit's strange.
It was a lot. But strolls it on out there, man, and Adam Pearce. But I'll tell you what, though. She can wear that.
Oh, yeah.
I couldn't really pull it off.
No. Well, her and Zelina Vega, I think, shop in the same stores.
Right. And they're built kind of the same.
Yeah.
And they can get away with it because it turns out when you're built well and good looking, you can tend to wear whatever you feel like, and it looks good on you.
That's like that's the whole premise of goth. My whole theory is anybody can pull. If you're super good looking, you can pull any good look off. You can wear all black in the middle of Florida.
Works for Jeff Hardy.
Oh, does it?
Ish. Did
the Jeff Hardy exception?
It did.
It did at a time.
Yes. Adam Pearce, Bailey, and oh my God! I just had a thought. You know how Kiss makeup? Sebastian Bach always said it's the greatest gimmick because you never know how old they are.
Yeah.
Didn't work like that with Jeff.
No. Good point.
Adam Pearce, Bailey, and Sasha. Sasha been waiting a long time. We get kind of a, I won't say it was standard, but because their story's a little different. I did like that Sasha wound up saying, I've always been doing whatever. You were the one that got left behind in NXT.
Mm-hmm.
I had to talk him into let me come back and get you. And that was kind of a cool little twist on it.
Yeah.
But then the real twist, which was strange, was Bailey didn't sign the contract.
Yeah.
So next week, I guess Sasha's going to have to chase her around and force her to sign the contract somehow.
Yeah. Maybe we'll get the Alberto Del Rio CM Punk.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
When it's like, you got to make him, he's got to agree to it. Well, John Laurinaitis said, fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough.
Right.
You know?
Right. Okay, and so then we get Keith Lee watching our main event of the evening. Braun Strowman versus Roman Reigns.
Goldberg was there too.
Goldberg was in the audience, so we know we're getting that match.
Mm.
Well, we have to get that match at some point.
At some point.
Because they were supposed to wrestle at Mania. And it didn't happen because Roman couldn't do it. Which is going to be... good luck, Roman.
Yeah.
Hope that works out for you, buddy. First segment.
Dude, what'd you think of this?
I thought it was better than I could have hoped for.
Yeah, boy, they're putting Roman over super heavy. And, but not in a bad way, I don't think,
Dude, and it wasn't like it was a squash, because he almost pinned him early.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't. Braun beat him up for a while. He flipped the script with the Roman's getting pinned, and he's 2 matches in a row. He does the
nut shot kick out.
Nut shot kick out.
Yeah.
And somebody's going to learn not to try to pin him with
the first time's on that guy.
Right.
The second time's on you, buddy.
Braun may be a little thick-headed in these scenarios.
You might.
Maybe.
You might be.
Maybe. But he caught the hand right here, and then as he's going to slam Roman gets him in a guillotine choke.
Yes.
And chokes him out, which I thought gives Roman an entirely different
I like
perspective.
the flying guillotine there. When he jumps him with the guillotine, puts legs in.
Yeah.
I wish he knew how to do a guillotine choke. That's an arm-in guillotine that he hit him with. Man, there's a few guys in the world that can knock and put somebody out with an arm-in guillotine. I mean, yeah, that's but it's a little better when you take that arm out and you hook it over, like, grab your own arm instead of letting it go all the way under like that. But it still looked cool, and I like it.
It looked cool. He finished him. And then we get Jay coming out. And I thought it was interesting, too. Okay, I'm like, wow, they got 3 minutes left.
I just saw that. Yeah, I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, and then Jay comes out, and I didn't realize. And, dude, not poor Braun, because he has a really good match with Roman, who's the biggest thing in the company right this second. But then, basically, he's being used to put over the next match, which is strange.
Yeah. Because
they've always kind of protected Braun.
Mm-hmm.
And Roman tells Jay, hey, come on down. And when Jay Uso comes down, because they're facing each other at Hell in a Cell, he says, hey, I love you. You have the opportunity to back out of this match. Here, he offers him the chair to hit Braun with.
Well, he also, before that, he hit Braun and says, this is going to be you.
Right. Well,
I love you. I don't want to do this to you.
Right. He says, this is how we eat.
This is how we eat.
This is what I have to be. And he says, this could be you. And he hits Braun. He hits Braun with the chair. And then he turns it into, you come on in here and do it to him. And he puts the chair down. And then he turns his back on Jay, holds his arms out.
He's like, yeah, if you really, pointing out, if you really want to do it to me, here, take a shot.
Take a shot. Yeah, I love you. Let's do this. And Jay doesn't do it originally. And Roman smiles because he thinks that means Jay is either weak or maybe giving up the match. Jay hits him. Roman bounces off the rope, comes back into a super kick. And Jay says, I love you too.
Yeah.
And then he hits him with the chair.
Yeah.
And he hits him with the chair. And I love the way Jay did this stuff right here. He was so very good at the end.
I don't know. Did you like the way they finished it, though? Because they haven't given Jay a moment where he looked like he really had a chance to win. They gave it to him for a second. Then those dudes, and then they hold him back.
Yes. I think when you mean, did I like the fact that when they all run in the ring and pull Jay off Roman recovers, sucker punches him.
Yes.
And then Jay
leaves
goes
him
out.
lying again.
I did like it.
Okay.
Because I don't think for 1 second Jay is going to win this match.
Mm-mm.
And I don't think I need to think that.
All right. I'm cool with that.
You know what I mean? Because right now, I don't think I need to see Roman looking. I don't think there needs to be an episode for a long time where Roman looks like he can lose.
Yeah. I can see that.
You know what I mean? Because right now, think about it. When Roman was I think all of us, Jared, especially on the other shows, all of us hate it when a guy is impenetrable as a champion and then he loses somehow and becomes a heel and all he does is smarmy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Even though Roman cheated with the arm on the kick out,
Yeah.
he still kicked out of a finish. He's still the same. Like, I hate it when Corey says he's completely different as a... No, Michael Cole says he's completely different as a wrestler. And Cole kind of... And Graves kind of created him. I'm sorry. I'm getting hyped up. Graves kind of corrected him.
Mm-hmm.
But the point is, Roman isn't wrestling different.
No.
He just cheats every now and then now.
Mm-hmm.
And so he should be able to recover from every... He's been John Cena for the last 4 years.
Yeah.
The only guy that's beaten him is Brock Lesnar.
Mm-hmm.
Why on earth would he not be able to kick out of everybody's finish? Why, if he gets hit a couple of times, not be able to stand up and punch somebody? He's still Roman Reigns. It's just now...
He's ruthless.
Yeah, he's not going to give to anybody anything. There won't be... And I wouldn't mind if he just blows through everybody for a while.
I like that.
You can have him be Lesnar. Lesnar was never in a scenario where at the end of the show you thought, oh my God, that guy's probably... I mean, maybe after a year or two.
Mm-hmm.
But like the story of every match is, oh my God, maybe he has a chance to be... Oh,
no, that's Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, right. Well, that's what we want, right?
No, that's Roman Reigns.
Right.
Yeah, you want it to be that. No, wait a minute. I forgot who he's facing.
Right. And when we get a little ways down the road is when we chink the armor.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we chink the armor. I hate to say it. Ugh. Maybe you have to chink the armor for Goldberg. Goldberg's the one to beat the Fiend. I mean, I hate it.
I don't.
In theory,
No.
in concept, I hate I don't know Bill Goldberg.
Yeah.
But I hated the character of Goldberg before. I hated WCW days. I hated the comebacks. I hated the fact that he's in his 50s and runs through the Fiend. All of these things.
He's never evolved.
Right. But by the same token, in character, maybe that's the guy, or maybe you bring Brock back.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe Brock's the guy who puts the chinks in the armor.
Yeah.
And the real story would be Brock comes back down the road, fantasy booking past Mania. Well, maybe it's actually going to be Rocky Johnson.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm thinking.
But with Brock would be a good one too, because then he could utilize the fact that he cheats to beat Brock, and that'd be the difference to all those matches he lost.
You could also tell a really good story there with Paul Heyman siding with Roman over Brock.
Oh, or even better, have Roman tell Paul, you go to him. He's the one that needs you, not me. And then Paul do the swerve on him. Right.
Just can't trust Paul Lee, baby. No, that'd be great.
All right, so I had a great week of wrestling.
I did.
Okay.
SmackDown was a better show.
Always.
There were some great moments, though. The Fiend, Alexa Bliss. There was a bunch of matches on Raw that were pretty good. They just wish they'd been longer. Right.
I'm excited for the new matchups and all that. I just can't wait for the next few months of wrestling.
Yeah, dude, I really am excited about more Seth and the Mysterio family.
I'm hoping that's one match. Don't we have Hell in a Cell either next week or the next week?
I think so, 2 weeks from now, I think.
So maybe they somehow quickly get them into a Hell in a Cell match with Seth, and
I bet they're going to do
it's over.
An Aaliyah on a pole match.
No.
Not like Buff Bagwell's mom on a pole match.
I'm glad you clarified that.
Yeah. Not that kind of pole.
Because I wasn't wanting to get in trouble.
No.
Okay, 4. Go Home Heat production, copyright 2020 for Justin and KP. Go home.